Encounter is brought to you by the Broome County Council of Churches, where we connect compassion with needs as we inspire growth with dignity. You'll find us in special places throughout the community. For those who remain hungry, we provide meals. For those who are challenged, we build wheelchair ramps. We comfort those who are ill, minister to those who are confined, and we remain an advocate for change and understanding on behalf of every element of our community. Connect and inspire. Encounter the Broome County Council of Churches.
Good morning and welcome to Encounter. I'm your host, Dave Alexander. Today I have Matt Williams, who's the program director at Skylake. Welcome, Matt. Glad to have you here. It's kind of like an annual thing every year. We have this before the beginning of May to talk about Skylake.
Well, thanks for having me. I enjoy being here and talking about my favorite place in the world.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and your position at Skylake.
Well, I'm Matt Williams, and I have been the program director at Skylake since 2000. Although in a couple months I'll be transitioning to interim director as Jim Krager, our executive director at Skylake, is retiring after 45 years of ministry.
Wow.
So we wish Jim well in retirement, and don't be a stranger.
Good. Now, you're a local person. You grew up in this area, right?
I grew up in the booming metropolis of Greene.
Okay.
So I started attending Skylake as an elementary kid,
so
and if you listen to my mother, I never left.
Okay.
Camp kind of has that effect on people.
Okay.
It becomes a home away from home, and for some of us it becomes home.
Okay, maybe for some people out there, don't know what Skylake is or where it is. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about how, we're up in New York now, how before it was Wyoming Conference, how Skylake came about.
So Skylake is a United Methodist Camp and Retreat Center out in Windsor. We're about 25 minutes from downtown Binghamton. We are located on top of Tuscarora Mountain, right off of 17. Okay. We have about 900 acres of our own that we can explore God's great creation out there. We offer year-round camping and retreat opportunities for individuals, for families, of all ages and abilities. Okay. So we offer a time and place apart. We are a ministry of the Upper New York Annual Conference of the United Methodist Church. We've been so since 2010. Okay. But the years before that, we were part of the former Wyoming Conference. Right. So back in 1947, the Wyoming Annual Conference purchased the property from the Willis Sharp Kilmer estate. Skylake used to be his hunting estate right there. And so we benefited from his collection of land. Right. As the legend has it, Ruth Underwood was the first female pastor in the former Wyoming Conference, was serving a charge in McClure, was talking with some of her parishioners one Sunday about the former Wyoming Conference wanting to purchase a property that was central to both Wilkes-Barre and Cooperstown, kind of the north and south boundaries of the former conference. And one of her parishioners said, well, my former employer's estate is for sale. So legend has it that Ruth and this parishioner went up to the property and they scaled the wrought iron fence and they trespassed all over the property. The reality is we think that the housekeeper probably still had a key to the gates, but the legend just sounds so much better when you have people trespassing. Yeah. But Ruth Underwood saw and experienced something truly unique there and said we need to purchase this property. So she convinced 12 pastors and laypersons to put up their own money to purchase the property as a holding company, and a couple months later the annual conference voted to purchase it from them directly, and the rest is kind of the history of it. That first summer they were able to get it up and running and had a lot of campers. We have hundreds of campers every summer that come for 1 week sessions, and then in the 60s, with the addition of Riley Lodge, we were able to go year-round for retreat groups. So we have families, we have crafting groups, we have a lot of church groups that come up, nonprofit civic organizations that can use our property and our facilities. We have excellent food service, so we actually, the day of this taping, we have a group there for a day meeting, and Kevin, our food service manager, is busy cooking a delicious dinner for them.
Good.
And the date of first air of this, we have a couple groups at the lake, taking advantage of the lovely weather we've been having lately.
I think one of the things, and maybe we should really point out to people, Sky Lake's not limited to just Methodists.
Oh, no. We are open to any religious affiliated group. We are open to any nonprofit civic organization.
Okay.
So we have nonprofit businesses and organizations that come for day retreats, for weekend retreats, for just an overnight. And also individuals and families can take advantage of what we offer as well. We offer some in-house retreats. So coming up at the end of May, we have our Spring Fling, which is our annual Memorial Day family weekend. We have a lovely family campground. It's our worst kept secret, if you would. we want people to know about this. So don't keep it a secret if you've ever been camping. In our campground, we have 26 individual camping sites that are available for tent or trailer camping. So we can accommodate up to 28-foot long campers. Some of the sites have electric ability and water hookup. Others are just purely rustic, non-electric. So you can find information on that and all of our events at skylakecenter.org.
Okay. Now I know as someone who's been up there quite a lot. I mean, you've got Founders Lodge, which is the main meeting place where you serve the meals, but that's got several big rooms where you can do a lot of different things.
Founders is kind of the hub of the East Shore. So at Sky Lake, which incidentally, if you were to look at Sky Lake from above, and you can look at it on Google Maps, you can get a really nice aerial view of the lake. It looks like a dove in flight. So the part that's the tail is the East Shore. The part that's the beak is the West Shore. East Shore is a bit more adult friendly. West Shore is that classic camp, rustic. You know, the cabins with 2 light bulbs and an outlet and a door and an emergency exit and 3 bunk beds and a counselor's bed. You know, it is classic camp, and we love that about West Shore. East Shore is a bit more built up. So we have, of course, Founders Lodge, which is the hub of that shore, and that has our main dining facility. It has a large conference room. It has some breakaway spaces. In particular, we have 2 retreat apartments there that are self-contained retreat apartments that also double as meeting spaces. But they're great places for individuals to come up and do some reflective retreating, or clergy who are working on doctoral dissertations, or they're just needing some time to reflect and relax and be in God's presence. Those retreat apartments have a Murphy bed, which is kind of cool. We like that it can go up into the wall. And, you know, very I Love Lucy-esque. No one's ever gotten trapped in the bed. Please, it's okay. We also have, you know, a bathroom ensuite and a small kitchenette, so people can come up and cook their own meals. However, if they're staying in a retreat apartment and we have another retreat group that is taking meals in the dining hall, they are more than welcome to join us for those as well.
Now you have Riley and Underwood.
And so we also have Riley Lodge, which was built in the 1960s, kind of classic mid-century architecture with flat roofs and a beautiful, beautiful view of the lake. I think most of our guests could just spend their entire time sitting in that main room overlooking the pristine lake, especially now that the lake has finally melted. It's been about a week since we were able to declare it 100% thawed from this winter. We had a thoroughly enjoyable winter, but we were glad to see spring finally arrive. So that's Riley Lodge. It can sleep up to 46 adults. We have a couple bunk beds, so we can add a few more kids in there. And then we also have Underwood Lodge, which is kind of up the hill from Founders Lodge. And that offers more motel-style accommodations, more adult-friendly, built in the late 90s. So it has twin beds and 7 rooms, so it can sleep up to 21 individuals. And then some futon beds in there also accommodate some smaller kids and youth.
Now, prior to getting into exactly where those buildings are, you have your offices at the entrance.
We do.
And then you have going up past them is like an area where you have like an arts and crafts building?
Yeah, it kind of serves dual purpose.
Okay.
For the majority of the year, it's additional space for maintenance crew who do a phenomenal job of keeping Skylake looking great year round. And so it houses some of the trucks and backhoe and that sort of thing. But in the summertime, which is my favorite use of that building, we turn it into kind of a makerspace creative arts studio. So our campers get to come in, and while we do some kind of dedicated crafts throughout the week, like tie-dye. It just wouldn't be camp if we didn't send campers home with a tie-dye shirt. We also allow our campers to come in and be creative with some of the resources that we have in there. They have a couple shelves that they can just kind of
do their thing and experience that creative. Very creative. Yeah. I mean, you feel the spirit because you're by the lake, and it's just a very peaceful setting. So it kind of changes you. I mean, when you're up there, you come away with a whole different feeling. So
we don't have phenomenal Wi-Fi connection up there, but we have a different kind of connection, as the saying goes. That to get out into that creation, we see it as not just nature, but the actual creation of God. As we kind of get out there and see the millions of examples of just different floral and fauna that God created, and that connection with that naturally leads to a deeper understanding of oneself and one's faith in God through Christ.
Now, let me ask this question. I know, I'm assuming that, say, a family wants to go up there and hike the trails. Do they need to stop in the office, or
we love visitors. We do ask that they stop by our office, or preferably give us a call within 24 hours of their planned visit. But people are driving by and say, can we just stop in and take a hike? And certainly, only on rare occasions do we not allow it. And there's a group on site that needs more cloistered.
Now you have regular office hours Monday through Friday?
We're open Monday through Friday. Generally, someone's in the office by 8:30, and we're there to 4:30. And if it's on a weekend, you can also reach us. We usually have a phone available for staff members who are hosting groups. So we can be reached pretty much
all the
anytime.
Time. Okay, because you got your staff is very close by, so it's
not only close by, but several of us live on site to help with those sort of things.
So that's really good. And I know, just experiencing going up and helping at different times, the maintenance crew, they do a phenomenal job taking care of the place and making it look really sharp. And
they do a top-notch job of that. So we're very proud of the work they do. And speaking of coming up and volunteering with that, that's a great transition. This coming weekend, Saturday, May 2nd, we are going to be having our annual volunteer work day. We're starting at 8:30, and there are a bunch of projects that the maintenance guys are coming up with. I was actually talking with Dan Coleman, our maintenance supervisor, and Bill Harris, our maintenance assistant, recently about what are some of the projects. And one of the main things is to get our trails open and ready. And winter was
rough,
not too rough, but we don't have enough hands right now to go out and rake all the trails and get them trimmed up. And so they